Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Current Connect series. In today's episode, we will cover the latest developments for the month of September. So let's get started. So the first topic is on the 106th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2023. So let's discuss the key provisions that shape the landscape of women's representation in our democratic institution, right? Firstly, why is this in the news? Well, this landmark amendment is designed to address the gender parity by providing 1/3 reservation to women in Lok Sabha, state assemblies and the Assembly of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, right? Now let's dive into the key provisions of this act. The amendment has its root in Article 239AA, which specifically focuses on the reservation of 1/3 seat for women in Legislative Assembly of National Capital Territory of Delhi. Next up, there is a new addition to the constitutional framework, that is Article 330A. This introduces the reservation of 1/3 seats for women in the House of People, which is commonly known as the Lok Sabha, right? Now, noteworthy is that it also includes a reservation within the total number of seats allocated for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes under Article 330 of the Constitution as well, right? Now, Article 332A takes center stage by extending the reservation of 1/3 seats for women to the Legislative Assembly of Every state. And similar to Article 338 that we just discussed, it also includes reservation within the total number of seats reserved for SCs and STs under Article 332. Now, let's talk about Article 334A. This provision outlines that the Act comes into the effect after delimitation following the first census post its commencement. So a significant feature also added to this is the sunset clause. That means the reservation for women will cease to have effect after 15 years from its time of inception. However, there is room for extension by the Parliament through a new legislation. So a crucial thing to note here is that the provision of this Act will not immediately alter the composition of legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha. Any changes will only come into play upon their dissolution, right? So after the dissolution of both legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha, the new amendment will take into effect. So that's all about the 106th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, next up, the topic is about the G20 summit held in New Delhi, where India, as we all know, assumed the prestigious role of presidency. The summit with the theme Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or One Earth, One Family, One Future, led to the unanimous consensus of the G20 leaders' New Delhi Declaration. Now let's explore the key highlights of this event. In response to the Ukraine war, the leaders emphasized adherence to the UN Charter, which urges all states to refrain from threats or the use of force, isn't it? Addressing global security, the G20 called for uninterrupted delivery of food grains, fertilizers or inputs from Russia and Ukraine. Economic considerations also took the center stage with a commitment to protect the vulnerables through equitable growth. And for that, a financial inclusion action plan was unveiled, focusing on advancing financial inclusion for individuals and micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, or the MSMEs. In the realm of technology, the G20 outlined a joint roadmap for crypto assets and established a global digital public infrastructure, or DPI, repository to share the best practices and experiences among the G20 countries. Also, the G20 pledged to strengthen the global health architecture, emphasizing the need for climate-resilient healthcare system, integration of traditional medicine, and adopting a One Health approach. In agricultural sector, transparency was prioritized with efforts to strengthen Agricultural Market Information System, or AMIS, and the Group on Earth Observation, Global Agricultural Monitoring, or GeoGLAM. A noteworthy initiative is the launch of the Global Biofuel Alliance, led by India, which aims to promote global biofuels adoption, supporting India's existing biofuel policies. And beyond these, the African Union became a permanent member of the G20, which eventually strengthened the representation of the developing countries in the group, right? And the G20 also witnessed the launch of India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor and collaboration on the India-Mercosur Preferential Trade Agreement. And finally, India handed over the G20 chairmanship to Brazil, which marked the end of the summit. Right? Now let's not forget the cultural richness India brought into the summit. From Bharata Mandapam, which was inspired by Anubhav Mandapam, to a bronze statue of Lord Nataraja in the Chola artistic style, as well as India showcased its cultural diversity through display of the Konark Chakra, images related to Nalanda University, traditional Tanjavur printings, Dokra art, and a brass statue of Lord Buddha added a touch of India's artistic heritage, right? So this was all about the G20 summit and the New Delhi Declaration. Next is the Abraham Accords. 3 years have passed since its signing, and it continues to make headlines. So let's explore why, what, and the impact of this collective agreement. So the Abraham Accord was signed in September 2020 as a collective agreement between United States, UAE, and Israel. And after signing of the Abraham Accord, it was later extended to include Sudan, Bahrain, and Morocco as well. Now let's understand what makes the Abraham Accord historically significant. It's the first normalization of ties between Israel and an Arab country since Jordan in 1994. Prior to that, Egypt and Jordan signed peace deals with Israel in 1979 and 1994 respectively. Now let's delve into the key provisions of the Abraham Accord. The UAE and Bahrain committed to establish embassies, exchanging their ambassadors, and collaborating with Israel across various sectors, including tourism, trade, healthcare, and security. Also, the name of the accord symbolizes the shared heritage of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, all of them tracing their roots back to the Prophet Abraham, right? It's a testament to the power of unity. And the accord have laid the foundation of an expanded regional and multinational cooperation as well. And one notable example is the establishment of the I2U2 group comprising of Israel, India, UAE, and the US. This group particularly focuses on areas such as water, energy, transportation, space, health, and food security. And also the normalization of the relations between Israel and Arab countries hold promise for economic opportunities for India, isn't it? And the vibrant Indian diaspora in Gulf now benefits from direct flights between UAE, Bahrain, and Israel, which helps in enhanced connectivity and trade as well. Also, in recent Israel-Palestine conflict, this accord stands as a beacon of hope, isn't it? So that's all about the Abraham Accord. Next is an important development in India's financial landscape, that is the rise of RBI's Financial Inclusion Index. Firstly, why is the Financial Inclusion Index making headlines? Well, the RBI's Financial Inclusion Index has witnessed a significant growth across all segments. As of March 2023, the index stands at 60.1%, a remarkable increase from the 56.4% in March 2022 and 43.4% during the pilot phase in March 2017. Now let's understand what makes up this index. Well, it captures the extent of financial inclusion by considering details from banking, investments, insurance, postal services, and also the pension sector. The index ranges from 0, which represents complete financial exclusion, and 100, representing complete financial inclusion. The index tracks 97 indicators divided into 3 sub-indices such as access, which weighs 35%, usage 45%, and equality, which contributes to 20%. Now before we proceed, what exactly is financial inclusion? Well, it's the process of ensuring that all individuals, including the marginalized population, have access to affordable and appropriate financial services, right? Now let's explore why financial inclusion matters. It's not just about numbers, it's about fostering economic and sustainable growth, as well as reducing poverty and inequality, empowering the marginalized section, and also simultaneously promoting innovation, especially in small businesses, isn't it? However, the journey to financial inclusion is not without challenges. Inadequate infrastructure in rural areas, financial illiteracy, procedural complications, and hidden charges force marginalized people out of the formal financial system, right? And to overcome these challenges, various initiatives have been in place, right? Which includes Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jivan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Stand Up India Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Vyaya Bandhan Yojana, and RBI's National Strategy for Financial Inclusion, right? So that is all about it. Next is the Basel III Capital Framework, which was introduced by RBI for all India financial institutions. This move aims to fortify the resilience of our financial institutions. Firstly, why is the Basel III capital framework is in focus? Well, Reserve Bank of India introduced this framework for all India financial institutions by exercising its authority under RBI Act of 1934. The key mandate under this framework is that these all India financial institutions have to maintain a capital adequacy ratio or CAR of 9% by April 2024, with an exception given to the National Housing Bank till timeline was given to National Housing Bank is till July 2024. And this move underscores the crucial role that these AIFIs or the All India Financial Institutions play in promoting credit flow to the economic sectors they serve. Now let's understand the broader context of Basel III norms. So these norms were adopted globally by financial regulators to enhance the banking sector's resilience to financial and economic stress. They were developed by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision in response to the 2008 financial crisis. Now, a key requirement under Basel III is the maintenance of a capital to risk-weighted asset ratio or the CRAR of at least 8%. CRAR is a ratio that compares the value of a bank's capital or net worth against the value of its various assets, right? And it is weighted according to the risk of lending as well. So, however, in India, RBI goes a step further by mandating banks to maintain the minimum capital adequacy ratio of 9%, right? Basel III prescribes 8%, but RBI is promoting the AIFIs to maintain a capital adequacy ratio of 9%. And this proactive measure aims to ensure that our financial institutions are well prepared to absorb shocks and navigate challenging economic conditions in the recent times, right? So that is the Basel III capital framework. Next, the Prime Minister has recently launched the PM Vishwakarma scheme, which is dedicated to our traditional artisans and crafts people. Let's delve into the details. So what is this scheme is all about? It aims to provide end-to-end holistic support to our traditional artisans and crafts people by helping them scale up their conventional products and services. And the objectives are to enable the recognition of artisans and crafts people as Vishwakarmas, to provide incentives for digital transaction and encouraging digital empowerment, and to create a platform for brand promotion and market linkages by opening new avenues for growth. Now let's look at the key details of this. For your information, it is a central sector scheme and will be implemented from the year 2023-24 to financial year 2027-28. And the nodal ministry is Ministry of MSME, that is the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and it will be jointly administered by the Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance, right? And registration is free through Common Services Centers using a biometric-based PM Vishwakarma portal. And the recognition includes a PM Vishwakarma certificate and ID card for the artisans and craftspeople. And the benefits are extended to one member per family, and the required document include Aadhaar, mobile number, bank details, and ration card. And lastly, lending. The lending institutions include scheduled commercial banks, regional rural banks, small financial banks, cooperative banks, NBFCs, and microfinance institutions as well, right? So that is all about the PM Vishwakarma scheme. Next, as we discussed in the G20 segment, India proposes the creation of a global biofuel alliance. This alliance carries the promises of reducing our world's dependency on traditional fossil fuels, right? But before we delve into the alliance, let's first understand the foundation of biofuel. So, the biofuels are renewable energy sources derived from biomass, which include crop stubble, plant waste, and municipal solid waste. India, as we know, is a major oil importer, and hence it is strategically investing in the production of biofuels, particularly from sugarcane and agricultural waste, isn't it? And India has set an ambitious goal for biofuels, aiming to increase the ethanol blending in petrol by 20% by the year 2025. And additionally, the establishment of compressed biogas plants are underway. And this aligns with India's commitment to building capacity for sustainable energy sources as well. So why is the Global Biofuel Alliance significant? Because this initiative is a catalyst for promoting sustainable biofuels, especially in the transportation sector. And it seeks to enhance markets, support global biofuel trade, share policy insights, and provide technical assistance to national biofuel program worldwide. And India envisions the alliance as a means to advance energy transition in developing countries and foster a circular economy as well. And by promoting the use of biofuels, we can reduce carbon emissions and work towards achieving net zero by 2007. Is it? So that is all about the Global Biofuel Alliance. Next topic is on the recently announced Swachh Vayu Survekshan 2023 awards. This initiative was launched under the National Clean Air Program by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to improve air quality at the city, regional and national level as well. What are the objectives of this Swachh Vayu Survekshan? Well, the survey is designed to create awareness across society about the health impacts of air quality, and it also aims to inform citizens, compare air quality conditions in different locations, and ultimately contribute to the goal of NCAP, which is clean air for all. Right? Clean air for all. Now, how is the survey implemented? Well, all 131 cities covered under NCAP are required to perform self-assessments using framework provided on the Prana portal. It's an online portal which captures the progress of the NCAP program. Right? In the recent Swachh Vayu Survekshan, cities were categorized based on their population, and the top performers in each category were recognized. Indore ranked first in the first category, which consists of million plus population. Amravati ranked second, first in the second category in 3 to 10 lakhs population, and Parvanu ranked first in the third category with less than 3 lakh population. And these cities demonstrated excellence in maintaining clean air, contributing to the well-being of their residents, and the recognition includes a cash prize, trophy, and certificate for their commendable efforts. Next topic is on the return of NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission, and this sample capsule carrying the precious cargo from the asteroid Vayu has successfully landed on Earth. Firstly, what is OSIRIS-REx? Well, it stands for Origins, Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, Security Regolith Explorer. Launched by NASA in 2016, it marks NASA's first mission to collect a sample from the near-Earth asteroid Vayu. Now, what makes Vayu unique? So, Vayu is classified as a B-type asteroid, which contains significant amounts of carbon and various minerals. Additionally, Vayu's composition provides valuable insights into the early solar system. Why samples from asteroids are important? Well, these celestial fragments hold the key to understanding the planet's formation and the origin of organic compounds and water, which are crucial for the life on Earth, right? And additionally, studying these samples aids in assessing the potential hazardous asteroids as well. Now, OSIRIS-REx is not the only sample recovery mission. Other missions like Stardust and Hayabusa 2 have also ventured into collecting samples from celestial bodies. Stardust gathered samples from comet P-2, while Hayabusa collected samples from the asteroid Vayu. Right? Next topic is about the re-emergence of Nipah virus in Kerala. Firstly, what is Nipah? Well, it's a zoonotic disease, meaning it's primarily transmitted from the animals to humans. Bats in particular are known as the carriers, and contamination of food can be a source of human infection as well. Additionally, the virus can spread from person to person through close contact, and this emphasizes the importance of food safety measures and avoiding contact with potentially infected animals. Now, how does Nipah manifest? Well, the symptoms include fever, headache, cough, sore throat, difficulty in breathing, and vomiting as well. In severe cases, it can lead to encephalitis and coma, and ultimately to death. Now, why is Nipah so concerning? It is a highly lethal and with a high mortality rate ranging from 40% to 75%. And this makes early detection, isolation, and treatment critical in preventing further spread and reducing the severity of this disease. Right? Next topic is on the successful commissioning of the Kakrapada nuclear plant, the power plant, or the CAP3 in Gujarat. Right? So, what is CAP3? It is the first and the largest indigenous 700 megawatt electric power plant in Gujarat. This is also the largest indigenously developed variant of the pressurized heavy water reactor. Now, what makes CAP3 special? It operates on pressurized heavy water reactor technology, utilizing natural uranium as fuel and heavy water as a moderator. In 2020, it achieved its first criticality, signifying the initiation of a sustained nuclear reaction. As you may be aware, safety is paramount in nuclear power. Hence, GAP 3 incorporates advanced safety features, including thin-walled pressure tubes to mitigate the impact of accidental ruptures. Additionally, it adopts passive decay heat removal system inspired by Generation 3 Plus technology to enhance safety against unforeseen events. Right? And India's nuclear journey is mapped into 3 stages. Currently, we are in the second stage of our 3-stage nuclear program, where the reactor is fueled by mixture of plutonium and natural uranium. This involves the enrichment of uranium-235 isotope to 3 to 5%, which is crucial for the electricity generation. Right? Next topic is on the inclusion of the sacred ensemble of the Hoysala temple in Belur, Halibut and Somnathpur in UNESCO's World Heritage List. This marks the 42nd UNESCO World Heritage Site in India, and this temple joined the Santiniketan, which is a town in West Bengal, as the latest entrance into the prestigious list. Let's start with the Chanakeswar temple in Belur, Karnataka. It was constructed in 1117 AD during the reign of King Vishwakarma and is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. The temple boasts a richly sculptured exterior depicting the scenes from Vishnu's life and also the representation of Shiva. Right, and it follows a stellar plan and is constructed using the chloritic schist, which is commonly known as soapstone. Next is the Hoysaleswar temple, which is in Halebidu, Karnataka, also built around 11th century AD, and it is dedicated to Lord Shiva and is renowned for over 240 wall sculptures depicting various themes related to Lord Shiva. And the wall complex includes 3 Jaina Basadi or the temples and a stepped wall as well. Lastly, the Kesava temple in Somnathpura, Mysuru, which was built in 1200 AD during the regime of Narasimha III. And this Tikuta or the 3-shrine temple is dedicated to Lord Krishna in 3 forms, that is Janardana, Kesava and Venugopala. While the main Keshava idol is missing from the temple, the damaged Janardana and Venugopala idol still exist inside the temple premise. Right, so that's the that news about the new World UNESCO Heritage Sites. And now the last topic of the day is the 21st edition of India-France bilateral naval exercise Varuna 2023. So Varuna 23 is the 21st edition of India-France naval exercise recently held in the Arabian Sea, and it dates back to 1993 and has evolved into a symbol of the robust India-France strategic partnership. It provides a crucial platform for learning and cooperation in maritime security. And apart from Varuna, there are exercises like Desert Night 21 and Garuda in the air and Shakti on the ground, and which showcases the holistic nature of the India-France military cooperation. Right? So that brings us to the end of this episode of Current Connect. We hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and knowledge about these crucial matters. Stay tuned for more updates in the next episode, where we will keep you informed about the latest development in various fields. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Thank you again.